right, guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Now, I've never been that much of a fan of Game of Thrones. I watched YouTube videos about the fucking series and I got really into it. So I decided to watch this series. And I think it was a good choice. Since I know what happens in Game of Thrones, but I'm not like a nerd on it, alright? My bad if I called you a nerd and you got mad about it. Yeah, Knight of Seven Kingdoms. Man, this shit is good as fuck, bro. It was short. I thought it could be. I thought it was gonna be longer because when I was watching these episodes, I was thinking, all right, man, there's like 6 episodes, but these fucking 6 episodes are gonna be like an hour long each, dude. But no, they're like 30, 24 minute episodes, and it all has to do with like it's like one arc of like an anime. If you fucking watch anime, it's basically one arc, and this whole story starts off with this guy named Dunk. He's kind of like, I don't even know if he was officially knighted, but he's this guy. He's this humble fucking tall dude who wants to be a knight, and he rolls up into this inn, and he ends up meeting this kid. The kid ends up being really important. This bald-headed kid, and he ends up trying to shack up there for a while, but then he decides, fucking, I'm gonna just go on ahead. How long does it took? So I get to fucking Ashland, which is like the city where this tournament's happening at. And when he gets to this tournament, he quickly realizes, like, yo, this isn't gonna be like your little fucking whatever farmer fight or whatever tournament. This is some serious shit. Like, royalty is here, running into Lionel Baratheon, I believe that was his name. This crazy fucking party guy. He's a highborn society dude. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy, but he ends up meeting it like everybody, dude. He runs into like prostitutes, other knights, people that are trying to get ahead in life just like him. It's crazy. He makes some friends. I'm not gonna lie, because later on he's gonna actually need them fucking friends. And then he figures out. Then when he gets back, I think at the end of like the second episode, he finds that the kid that was bald headed is waiting to see him back there because he wants to be his squire. His name's Egg, which is really his nickname. Was crazy. His real name is Aegon. Sorry to spoil it for you. His name's fucking Aegon, and he's like a Targaryen kid, but I guess he shaves his head because he hates his older brother, and he doesn't want to be anything like his older brother Aerion, who's kind of a dickhead. At first, Dunk doesn't know anything about this, but says, "Fuck it, man. Why not?" He gets close to the kid, and he tries to like freaking teach him the same way his master taught him about what it means to be a good knight. How a good knight doesn't sleep in fucking castles or shit like that. He ends up sleeping in fucking people's houses or outside in the fucking rain if he has to. And Egg is like, all right, he's just going along with it. Like, Egg really likes him. He's a good. You can tell Egg needs good like moral leadership, like adult supervision in his life, because his family's so fucked up and inbred that he'd rather be outside sleeping in the fucking rain than being around his fucking family. So that should already tell you how the Targaryens are perceived even now amongst each other and outside with the people. Because by this point, the Targaryens do not even have fucking dragons. They don't have dragons anymore. So all they have is military might and history of being the rulers for a while in Westeros. But eventually, you can see like throughout the show, people are getting tired of the Targaryens bullshit. Like, they're getting tired of being pushed around, killed, murdered. If they even like desecrate a dragon, that's what happens. Aerion ends up breaking this girl. I was like little girl. He ends up breaking this chick's fingers just because in a play she was doing, she kills a dragon, and he was watching, and he's like, "Well, the dragon isn't supposed to lose," because in his retarded mind, he thinks he's a fucking dragon. But anyways, the show goes on. The situation with the dragon and the girl. Dunk ends up running in there because Egg called him, and he was like, "Hey, man." Well, he didn't even say it. He just beat the fuck out of Aerion, and then Aerion's like, "Well, was it worth it?" Like, that reaction is not what I reacted. Like, his first time reaction was not what it was. Fuck. It's not what I expected him to be. Like, the dude was like so cold. Like, "Hey, man, are you sure this is what you wanted to die for? You gonna die for this random whore?" Like, that shit was comically funny to me. Like, that shit was funny. I'm not gonna cap. And he's like, he doesn't even say anything. He gets taken. Well, he was about to get his fucking teeth smashed in, but Egg rolls in. He's like, "Hey, no, we're not doing that. We ain't doing that." And then it's revealed that Egg is a prince of the blood. He is the son of the dragon. His dad is Makar. Makar earlier on is introduced with his brother Baylor. Uh, and Baylor is like the heir currently. Well, he was the heir, and he's like this super honorable knight dude who's like probably one of the best heirs Targaryen's ever had, bro. Like he was super cool, super chill. Makar's he's kind of like his sons. He's kind of a dickhead, but he's not fucking crazy like some of them. He's missing his kids. Two of his kids are like missing. The Daeron the drunk, the one in the inn that Dunk runs into, and Egg is missing, and then they get found. And Dunk is locked up, and he's trying to plead his case, and he's like, all right, well, we're gonna have a trial by 7. And the craziest part about this whole show to me isn't the fact that he didn't know. Dunk isn't really supposed to know what the fuck that ancient shit is. But like Makor, apparently in the books he's supposed to be super smart or something, but he didn't know what the fuck a trial of 7 was. And it was funny as fuck seeing him be like, what the fuck is that? But his son knew what it was apparently. But that shit was funny as fuck, okay? The comedy scenes in the show, they're fucking funny. But there's this thing called the Trial of 7, and it's basically 7 of your homies gotta fight 7 of my homies in a bash. And whoever wins, the gods decide, yeah, you're right. The survivor, that's the one that's right. That's the one that's right. That's the one right. That's the one that's right. And fucking dude, I'm trying to say like this dude is assembling most of his friends, because some of them backstab him. Wasn't really his friend, the guy that backstabbed him, but shit, he has to get a dude knighted. But Baylor, the goat, ends up being like, yo, dude, I'll fight for you. I'll fight for you. I mean, they're not even supposed to touch me, anyways. So he ends up having 7 of his guys, and then fucking Arion has having 7 of his homies. One of them is his fucking dad. And they go to crash together, and that whole fight scene at the end, that shit was so bloody. I thought it was gonna be like more swinging and shit. No, people were getting like by the end of it, fucking Dunk looked like he was gonna fucking die, bro. Like the shit was bad. I'm like, yo, this shit is brutal. That's what I expected Game of Thrones though. So I'm like, what the fuck was I expecting? Fucking people to do backflips and shit? But no. Brutal bash. People are fucking dying. Like 2 dudes on a fucking I think Dunk side ended up dying earlier on, but that shit was crazy. Anyways, some the fight ends up getting off of the horses, and Arion and fucking Dunk go at it. Dunk looks like he's about to fucking die, but then he wakes up, and then fucking gets up, and then makes Arion kneel, like quit, like say I give up, it's truce, like uncle, makes him say uncle. Fucking the whole thing ends, but sadly, Prince Baylor ends up dying. R.I.P. to GOAT and the shit. And then people go their separate ways. People, Lionel's like, yo, so do you want to come with me? Because shit, what are you gonna stick around here for? I can make you my brother. We can do crazy shit together. And he's like, Dunk is like, nah, sorry, bro. I mean, I ain't really with it. But Makar calls Dunk, and he's like, yo, do you want to be the knight? Do you want my son to squire for you? And then Dunk is like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't really think I should be squiring for a prince of the blood. Like, I'm a fucking nobody. And then Makar's like, yeah, you are a nobody. He fucking leaves. But then he runs into Daeron the drunk, and he's like, you know what? Aaron used to be a good person, but then something happened, and he became a piece of fucking shit. So maybe you should make him your squire, just in case, because you don't want him to become like Aaron or me, who's an alcoholic. And fucking, he goes back, and he's like, yo, I will take care of this kid. I'll be a squire, but it won't be at fucking Summerhall. It won't be at fucking Crown's Land. We'll go on adventures together. And then Makar's like, I can't have a prince of the blood fucking sleeping in fucking tents and shit, dude. He's a somebody. And then fucking Dunk is like, well, neither did your son. Your sons did the opposite, and look how they turned out. And then Makar's like, bro, it's my last chance. I'm like, well, you fucking up your chances though, bro, because your kid doesn't want to be like your 2 older ones, who are fucking pieces of shit. Just let him go. But he's like, nah. But Egg ends up sneaking out. We assumed his dad let him go, because he said he's fucking lying the whole damn show. And he's like, yeah, my dad said I could go with you. So they go on their adventure along the way. And then the funniest shit of all was the end with the last scene with Maekar being like, "Bro, where the fuck is my son at? Damn it, he ran away again." And that was House of the that wasn't House of the Dragon, bro. That was Night of Seven Kingdoms, bro. Great show. It was short but sweet. I love when they do these type of shows where like the plot is it doesn't have to be 1,000 fucking things going on. It can be its own little arc, and then we'll go on to the next adventure and do that arc. I like when they do that in writing, and when they do that in shows. And bro, y'all gotta watch this shit. I barely know shit about Game of Thrones, but damn, bro, like this is a quality show. House of the Dragons was good, but shit ain't this fucking